Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot and member of PMDG's tech team. So just now on the 24th of February, Robert Randazzo has posted a new update on some PMDG matters, and we are certainly going to have a look into those. There's three topics covered today, and two of which deal with the 737, one with the 777, and most importantly, one deals with the dreaded issue of the airplane freezing up that's affecting the 737. Now, I've personally had this issue only once, and that's obviously been on a live stream. I'm sure you're going to remember my 737 freighter flight from Ukraine. And, well, apparently I'm not the only one who had that issue. So, let's have a look into what Robert Randazzo says about it. Quote, over the past 6 months or so, we've seen a slowly increasing number of reports that the 737 will simply freeze the user out and stop responding to user input under various conditions. With some community feedback, the culprit seems to have something to do with the Tcas being in either TA or TARA modes, but no amount of trying to duplicate the problem in-house brought us any live captures of the event or gave us any ideas. In the beginning, there were just a few reports of the problem, and once somebody had the problem, it seemed it would repeat often, which is usually an indication that the user has installed something on their machine that is causing a negative interaction with our product. No amount of consultation and researching user installs yielded any data that would seem to indicate the problem was external to the 737, but likewise, none of the data seemed to rule in the 737 either. Then it began to happen with the 777, and subsequent to SIM update 14, and then again with the SIM update 15 beta, the number of incidents began to increase rapidly. It was clear to us that something was causing our Tcas handling logic to get overwhelmed with large volumes of potential targets being communicated to the airplane, and this was causing Tcas to fall over. Last week, we pulled a good portion of our coding resources from the 777 in order to investigate the issue and see if we could back into the problem by working through a number of manual debugging efforts and a few hundred man hours of mind-numbing work. We had a firm theory, a proof, and a fix. We have just moments ago handed a fixed 777 build to our beta team for validation, and we'll hand them a 737 verification build immediately afterwards if they agree that we have indeed cured the issue. We are treating the 737 update as an emergency update and will have it out to you as quickly as possible, subject to verification and validation so that we don't cure one problem by handing you a new one instead. Quote end. Alright, so that much about the dreaded freeze issue. Now, some of you may have already figured a possible workaround then from the text that Robert wrote, but just to make it entirely clear again, if you do have that issue with the 737 freezing up regularly on you, put the Tcas on your Mel, or rather on your hill, and just don't use it anymore. You can still fly online, but it does not require you to have a Tcas, even though, obviously, if you don't have a Tcas on board your airplane, I would very much recommend you to keep doing regular position reports on Unicom, especially on approach, so that you don't interfere with any other traffic. And it might be an idea to include something like Tcas in-op or so that other airplanes can, well, start coordinating with you. So the Tcas, by the way, is a MEL category C item, so it can be inoperative for 10 days in a row, but after 10 days you then need to have it fixed in order for the airplane to stay airworthy. Alright, so that much about the basic problem of the airplane freezing up and a possible workaround. So just use your transponder in altitude off mode or in altitude transmitting mode, but don't use it in any of the Tcas modes, which are TA or TARA. Alright, so that much about the 737 freezing up. Now, as we're already talking about the 737, let's also get to the next topic, which is Xbox. Now, most certainly the Universal Flight Tablet for Xbox. Let's quote Robert again. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that Asobo has reached out to us to let us know that they believe a fix has been put in place that would unblock the SDK documented communication methodologies that our airplane-to-tablet communication relies upon. We have spent the past couple of weeks evaluating the tablet on the Xbox platform and wanted to share with you that this process is ongoing. While we do now finally have communication between the airplane and the tablet, we are finding that there is some negative interaction between the native Xbox keyboard and the keyboard capture on the tablet, and this is making it impossible to enter data into the tablet when it is operated on Xbox. We have been investigating this negative interaction and are in the process of testing a number of theories as to how we can work with and around the native Xbox software keyboard so as to allow users to enter data into the tablet. Testing will be ongoing until we find a solution, as the tablet is effectively unusable if you cannot enter data into the various features that need it. The silver lining here is that we are at least able to confirm that the tablet's presence does not harm the operation of the 737, and this will allow us to unstick pushing 737 updates to Xbox users. We are going to wait until late next week to begin pushing a new round of updates for the 737, as that may give us a chance to test some of the fixed theories we have. One never knows how theories might work out, so we are keeping hopes high and will keep you informed as we learn more. Quote end. Alright, so good news for Xbox users over here as well, with the update being in progress. It's a little bit of a pity that it took so long to get the update in, or to get the Universal Flight Tablet into the airplane in first place, but it looks like there is now light at the end of the tunnel. Alright, let's go on then to the last point, and that is obviously going to be the 777. So let's have a look into what Rob has to say about it. Quote, things are really coming together nicely with the 777. I'll get back into some preview stuff here once the dust settles a bit. This is high crunch time for us to tie in all the remaining feature sets that we have identified as a requirement for the initial release. We know you are eager for the airplane, and while we are eager to hand her over to you, we are collectively taking a moment to catch our breath and look the product over carefully to make sure it is absolutely in proper shape with sound fit and finish. We owe you that much, and our goal for this airplane is that it should be the finest, most complete PMDG release yet. Quote end. Alright, and this nicely wraps up the weekend update from Robert Randazzo. Unfortunately, no fancy preview pictures or anything the likes that I could show you over here, so you had to enjoy that lovely 737 sitting on the tarmac over there with the lovely 3D grass of Microsoft Flight Simulator and a couple of clouds behind. But nonetheless, I do hope that you found this update interesting. Sure enough, more focused on the 737 than on the 777 today, but it is great news to hear that we are finally going to get a fix for the freeze issue. Now, as Robert mentioned, he's just handed over a fixed 777 beta build, so I'm going to download that one, do a quick test flight before I have to do a real-world flight later in the afternoon, and then probably catch a little bit of sleep prior to reporting for duty later. Alright, with that, I'd like to thank you very much for watching today. Hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, then be sure to leave a like in YouTube as well, as it does really help out the channel. As always, if you do want to read up on the original article, then I am going to link it in the video description below, so that you can read up Rob's original article, or just in case you prefer reading over listening. With this, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. As always, if you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment to let me know what you think about this one. And if you really love what I'm doing over here, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you all again on the next one.